Would it be strange to hear that there is a posture fix that is so potent, so transformative, that it fixes tightness, it frees up energy, and it even makes you smarter, all in 3 minutes a day? I know it sounds too good to be true, but you will want to wait to the end to see how potent it actually is. And this is especially useful if you're past your 30s, you got less and less time to train, and you have more and more responsibilities on your plate. Okay, so you probably think handstands are just for gymnasts or kids or people with endless time. Or maybe you even tried it in the past, but you ended up frustrated because you didn't have a clear plan, you didn't see any progress, or maybe you felt some sensations around your joints. Listen, I get it. Everyone who tried the handstand has all been there. But here's the secret. The handstand, when done right, is actually your free inversion therapist. Not just another party trick. But the real problem isn't just the handstand itself, it's how people approach it. They waste hours on doing endless preparation drills, performing half-hearted attempts, and seeing almost zero to no progress. And what is even worse is that they are convinced they are working very hard, but actually they are stuck. And I call this the dopamine paradox. You think you're doing all of the right things. You're tracking your time, you're logging your results, you're putting in the effort, but you're not actually seeing the progress of all of your efforts. This leaves you feeling frustrated, it leaves you feeling very demotivated, and eventually you will give up. And what sucks even more is that you never see the results of your beautiful accumulated efforts triumphing in an actual handstand. Now, we are going to break that cycle. We are going to electrify your handstand by doing only what pushes the needle. Therefore, turbocharging your progress, helping you to feel more motivation to be consistent for a longer period of time, and helping you to build powerful holds that are challenging but fun. Because this isn't just about balancing upside down or acquiring a cool party trick. Using inversions like the handstand is a powerhouse, especially if you get older. Think boosting your brain, improving blood flow, more oxygen, more brain food for sharper focus. It directly targets tech neck, where it opens up your shoulder and thoracic spine, eliminating tightness or stiffness around your upper back. It acts as a natural body detox, boosting lymphatic drainage, literally cleaning up accumulated toxins, making you feel fresh and restored, strengthening connective tissue, where it helps you bulletproof your wrist, elbows, and your shoulders. And finally, it helps you build unshakable confidence. Conquering the fear of inversions build a deep, lasting confidence that spills over in every area of your life. And this is the number one thing I experience and my clients experience as well. They feel a sense of mastery over their body and their mind, which they use in the rest of their lives. So how do we achieve this electrified handstand? Well, the secret weapon has two parts. First, we use a concept called grinding the groove. Most of us know a concept called greasing the groove, which is a concept coined by Pavel Tazzolini. And this is a super potent method to increase strength, muscle size, and skill in a very short amount of time. How come? Well, every time we contract, what happens is that the brain is sending a signal to the muscle to contract. Then once the muscle is contracted, a signal is being sent back to the brain, giving information about that contraction. So it's always a back and forth between the brain and the tissue to deal with that specific stressor or stimuli that happens on the body. Now, what happens with greasing the groove is that we're trying to improve this communication between the brain and the tissues without fatiguing the entire system like you're doing with a normal session. As a result, we can improve this communication between these two elements in a progressive way. And two, because we place less of a demand per session on this communication pathway, we can perform more repetitions in a shorter amount of time, allowing us to get faster results as we would do with a regular session. And that's why it's called greasing the groove. We're densifying that communication pathway between the brain and the muscle with each repetition. And this works wonders if you're trying to improve specific movement patterns. Now, why did I call the concept grinding the groove? Because most people only focus on remodeling their tissue for gains. And when it comes to the tissue specifically, this is true. But when it comes to practicing balance, there is more. And that is by training our senses. And to electrify or turbocharge our handstand, we can incorporate this secret. We close our eyes. Now, you might be tempted to close off the video and say like, this guy is a lunatic, but stick with me because I'm going to show you how to do it in a very safe and progressive way. But first, I want to show you how powerful this actually is. So to demonstrate, I want you to stand up And once you're standing, stand on one foot with your eyes open. So slowly shift your weight towards one foot and keep that eyes open. That's easy, right? Okay. Now close your eyes. Feel that immediate wobble? Well, that is your brain suddenly forced to rely on your other senses that come out. Your inner ear and your body's position, all to maintain balance. And that's the power we're trying to incorporate with unlocking the handstand. So closing the eyes with the handstand is really about increasing the intensity, cutting away the fluff, and fast track your results. But as I already told you, we don't want to be reckless, so we want to do it in a safe, progressive way. And here's how you do that. So in order to be inverted in an efficient way, you need two things. 1, strength. 2, balance, just like with standing. And strength with the handstand is your ability to carry your own body weight when you're upside down. This involves the muscles that facilitate and support the scapula going upwards or elevating. Think of your delts, trapezius, rotator cuffs, triceps, and even the lats. Now, balancing with the handstand is making very tiny corrections to keep that body line in the straight positions so you don't fall out. Now, with turbocharging the handstand, what we're going to do is we're going to combine both while closing the eyes. So let's dive into the routine. Full routine goes as follows. You warm up the wrists by doing 5 wrist circles to the left and then to the right, or vice versa. When you make the circles, make sure that you keep the elbows locked and that you go into full range of motion. Then once you're done, you're going to start in a plank position against the wall. Then once you're ready, you slowly walk up to the wall. Stop at the point where you feel you don't want to move any further. When you're in that position, you contract the glutes, you push away the floor so that the shoulders meet the ears and you drive the spine to the wall, enforcing enough shoulder flexion. Then when you're in that top position, you close your eyes for 2 to 3 seconds. Then you open them up and then you walk back. You do this for around 2 to 3 repetitions and then you stop. You want to repeat this twice a day, maybe once in the morning and once before dinner. As the weeks go by, try to get incrementally closer to the wall. Once you start to reach around 30 centimeters from the wall, you can add some bailouts as a prep so that you feel safe when falling out.
When you bail out, you want to slightly shift away towards one side, giving room to internally rotate the arm on the other side. Then you simply follow the palm of the hand with the leg that is coming out.
The goal is to eventually be at around a fist away from the wall, while keeping the eyes closed in the top position for that 2 to 3 seconds and perform 2 to 3 wall walks per attempt. Once you can complete this progression, you can perform with the following. You start similarly with prepping the wrist and then you walk up the wall, but you start around 45 to 30 centimeters in front of the wall. Then you pull one leg away, you close the eyes for a brief moment, again 2 to 3 seconds. Then you open them and then you alternate the feet. So you don't close the eyes when alternating the feet for now. Over time, you want to make the transition of the feet more sequential instead of going one foot after another. Build this up gradually. Additionally, the further away from the wall you'll be, the more balance it requires. And that is eventually what you want. Now, once you feel really comfortable and you've practiced the bailouts enough, you can start closing the eyes momentarily when you're transitioning. When you do, your balancing game will be amplified. Now, once you feel very comfortable in this progression, you can then start to work on kick-ups. Kick-ups is basically when you're doing the previous progression but then without a wall. So you're kicking up gently in a front split position. You try to accumulate as much time in this inverted position, and once you feel stabilized, what you can then do is close the eyes again momentarily for 1 to 2 seconds. Of course, you can gradually build this up, but I would highly recommend you only close the eyes once you feel that you have at least got a little bit of balance. Once you at least feel you're in a stable position when you're inverted into a kick-up. Now, once you can perform a kick-up of around 15 seconds, then you can start slowly bringing the legs together to perform a full freestanding handstand with a straight line. Again, use closing the eyes in moments where you feel balanced to amplify the learning process. Okay, so now you know the roadmap to turbocharge your handstand, see some consistent results and make it very exciting and fun while you do it. Now, working on the handstand is one of the big 6 exercises in the mobility pillar of my system. A system specifically designed to help busy parents or professionals achieve pain-free athleticism in less than 2 hours per day, which is a fraction of the time it takes the pros. Plus, we're helping members rejuvenate their energy levels by fixing their metabolism. Now, after helping dozens of members achieve their athletic potential, one of the biggest roadblockers they face is that they don't know what restrictions they should focus on when they start. And that is why I created a DIY assessment for them to screen and assess their restrictions and also make a priority on which restrictions or pains they should focus on. They perform the assessment at the comfort of their couch in 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then we immediately have clarity on what to prioritize. Now, to help you out, I also made this available for you. If you go to my website and check the Beasley Mobility Assessment, you can download it for free. Scroll down to the top and click on the link, and then you will be guided towards the assessment. And to make it even better, after you completed the assessment, you will get the first exercise of a progression tree to help you out with the restrictions you need to prioritize. Now, if you want to fast track your progress and have sustainable results, you can check out the full system in the description below. Now, all that is left is to start electrifying your handstand journey. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment and I'll help you out. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and good luck.